Forget about that woman, Luke. You have other options. Me. Hi, I'm Bridgette and I'm back. So apparently there's this thing on YouTube where you can hype up a video. Now, I don't really know what that means, but feel free to hype to your heart's content. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the messy recap. If you're out on the road. Suki and Lorelai continue their plans of opening another inn and find out that the deeds are owned by Fran, the cupcake lady. They pay her a visit where she lets them know she will not be selling it to them.
Not on my watch.
And the girls grow despondent. Meanwhile, Mia, the owner of the Independence Inn, shows up and she is incredibly rude to Michelle, so it's an immediate no from me. There's been a crime scene at Dosey's, apart from the fact that there hasn't been, and it was just a prank, and suspect number one is Jess. The whole town is unhappy with Jess and they take it out on Luke at the town meeting where he handles his business. Lorelai finally lets Mia know that she will be opening a rival inn and Mia is absolutely fine with it, pleased in fact, which sends Lorelai into an insane spiral where she takes out her woes on Suki, which is not a vibe, but she does eventually apologise. Rory is not best pleased with Jess because of all the flack that Luke is getting, and Dean cock-blocks their conversation, but Rory's words have definitely impacted Jess because he then fixes Luke's toaster. Okay, so we start off with a bit of a role reversal on the fashion front. For Lorelai is wearing a casual hoodie situation and Suki is wearing this.
What are those?
Anyway, Lorelai walks into the kitchen where Suki and Rory are hiding a wedding gift for a wedding that Lorelai did not attend. Her own wedding to Max Medina. It's beautifully wrapped, but Lorelai says she's not going to open it. Really, one of the nosiest people on earth is not going to open something addressed to her?
Really?
She caves in about 0.2 seconds. And it is a stunning looking ice cream maker. So Suki and Rory are gassed about it, but Lorelai is being moody AF and wants to return to sender immediately because it's a wedding gift and she's not getting married. Whose fault is that? If she really wanted to be nice, she would just send it to Max instead.
Guess who's back again.
And we're back at Chilton with this stylish bandana. So there's a new teacher in town and she lets them know that they are going to be doing a production of Romeo and Juliet. I love watching shows about people putting on shows. It's my jam. This new teacher is a whole vibe and the kids seem to like her too. And I just don't feel like she's the type to be having any relations with the students' parents. So there's that too. Maddie, Louise, Paris and Rory have coincidentally all been given Act 5 to play out.
Guess who's back again.
Henry! And actually him and Rory do seem to get on really well and seem to be genuine friends. So she does have friends, Headmaster Charleston. Paris comes over and interrupts in a way that only Paris can with absolute iconic rudeness. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I was Paris at school. If we're doing a group project, I'm doing the group project.
You play to win the game. Hello?
I'm here to win and I'm not going to have other people bring my grade down. So Tristan is back.
Yay.
From suspension, apparently, because he took apart a teacher's car and then put it back again. What was the point in that? He's fallen in with the wrong crowd, which at Chilton, I can't imagine is especially gangster. But truthfully, a rich, preppy bad boy is usually way more dangerous for the world. Okay, so the pigtails are back, so we already know what time it is. Lorelai is on the phone to some estranged aunt trying to figure out who sent her the ice cream maker. And miracle of miracles, I like Lorelai's top. But why must she pair a decent top with these pigtails? So Rory comes home and tells Lorelai about the assignment and how Paris is yet to assign them roles in Romeo and Juliet. And it's like, let Paris cook. She's out here wanting to give the production Scorsese levels of excellence. Just let her do her thing. Let her cook. Like mother, like daughter, because Rory has volunteered Lorelai to make the costumes for the production without asking Lorelai first. I would have empathy for her, but Lorelai has done it to many people herself, so suck it up.
I don't care.
So Rory really has managed to keep her position as a decent friend because Henry calls up to do a three-way call with Lane because Lane obviously doesn't want Mrs. Kim to know that she is speaking to Henry. Side note, Mrs. Kim has had a haircut and it looks great. She runs a strict program though and Lane can only be on the phone to Rory for about 5 minutes. Henry and Lane are adorable. Anyway, Lorelai heads off to class, so she still has time for her extracurricular activities, I see. At class, and Lorelai is spending her time flirting with some random random guy. They flirt over the fact that Lorelai yet again has taken the last burrito from the vending machine, but really he's just buttering her up to ask her for the notes for the class. Lorelai, never one to miss an opportunity to flirt with a younger man, does call him young and beautiful. He then says to repay her for the notes, he would like to take her out for dinner.
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
Literally not a single man or boy is exempt from Lorelai's charms. This we know. She does turn him down, but he slides her his number anyway, just in case she changes her mind. So at Chilton, the crew are waiting for Paris Spielberg Geller when we're introduced to this really cute guy called Brad who must be protected at all costs. He is nervous. Paris decides she wants to go for a traditional theme, so she's going for an Elizabethan theme. She lets Brad know that he will be playing Romeo because they don't have any other boys, when in comes Tristan. He's in his bad boy era, so he wasn't around when the assignment was being handed out. And he claims he can't join any of the other groups because his exes are in those groups. This from Paris.
So we're being punished for our good taste?
Maddie or Louise opens up their big mouth and says that Tristan should be Romeo. Paris is not thrilled about the suggestion. But either way, Maddie or Louise remind Paris that this performance is worth 50% of their grade, so Paris has to suck it up. So Paris agrees, but not before letting Rory know that she will be the one playing Juliet.
You're Juliet. You're the best public speaker here. You've definitely got that waif thing down, and you'll look great dead.
Oh, damn.
So Suki's back in her bandana top era, and she's made Michelle some whole wheat pancakes, but she's trying to get Michelle to be less restrictive with his eating. She makes him promise to not count the blueberries in the pancakes and swear an oath on Destiny's Child staying together. But Michelle can't do it. It's giving you need to see the lady Michelle. Lorelai tries to donate the ice cream maker to the inn and Suki checks in on her. She's like, are you good? Have you been moving on from Max? I'm not sure we need to be fast tracking Lorelai into another relationship personally. The track record is giving flop. Just let her chill and work on her many, many jobs. But then Lorelai lets her know about the very, very young man that asked her out at business school. Suki encourages her to go for it. And while she's doing so, Michelle comes back in and tries to get hold of the pancakes, but Suki is too swift.
You were this close, and you blew it.
So our resident non-fashionable fashion designer, Lorelai, is sewing clothes for Rory's play with all her free time. When Rory comes back, Paris then calls Rory up in a blind panic. She's freaking out because two of the other groups are using some of the spaces at school. And Paris doesn't want the other group spying on hers. Again, relatable. Paris has done some deep diving and has found misspatty.net on the net, which is hysterical. Rory is not thrilled with the idea of them rehearsing in her hometown. We know she likes to keep things separate, but Paris is like,
We do not care.
so I guess the people then will be coming to Stars Hollow again, this time with Tristan in tow. So Rory's losing the plot because she realizes that if Tristan comes to Stars Hollow, she's going to have to tell Dean that the two of them kissed. Now, I've got to be so for real. I completely forgot about that kiss. I forgot about that plot point. I thought we'd moved on with the gist of it all, to be honest. So Rory comes to the conclusion that she needs to tell Dean first before he finds out. So Rory tells Lorelai, and Lorelai's like, okay, say I'm Dean, practice on me what you're going to say. And to be fair to Lorelai, she does a great job of being Dean. I mean, she needs more bass in her voice, but it's pretty accurate. So you know that most parents will say to their kids, honesty is the best policy, and encourage them to be honest and truthful at all time. Well, not Lorelai.
I'm a cool mom.
She basically tells Rory to not tell Dean the truth. Knowing Dean, I would be inclined to agree, but also knowing Dean, I would be advising my daughter to steer clear of him in the first place.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Miss Patty, who was chain smoking while simultaneously hosting a yoga class for elders.
Girl. Really?
That tracks. Paris comes storming into Miss Patty's because the class has overrun by a few minutes. And honestly, I'm with Paris. She expected to be in there for 8. It is now 8:04. However, this...
I understand the whole Mystic Pizza, small town, we don't let a clock run our lives thing. But I come from the big city where money talks, and I'm paying good money for this place, and I have a schedule to keep.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. Maddie and Louise's outerwear is a complete slay. Almost makes up for their personalities.
Almost doesn't count.
Tristan hasn't showed up yet and has apparently gone over to Dosey's to buy some cigarettes because he's about that life now, which is obviously a disaster because that's where Dean works. He heads into Dosey's and immediately starts in on that I'm rich, you're poor thing. And I've got to be honest, in this, I feel sorry for Dean.
Shut up!
He also spills the tea that the reason that he's in Stars Hollow is because he's going to be in a production of Romeo and Juliet where he is playing Romeo and Rory is playing Juliet, which is news to Dean. I mean, it's a school production, so it's really not that deep. Tristan then drops a whole bag of flour at Dean's feet.
No.
And obviously Dean behaves in a way that we've all come to know, with aggression. And then Rory comes in to try and explain herself. Dean relents after a few moments of huffing and puffing. So he doesn't punish her for very long, but he still has to walk around the block to calm himself down.
Okay.
So Rory's having dinner at Luke's when Lorelai comes back from her date quite early. And Kel's surprised her and the younger guy didn't really have much in common. He was outdoorsy. She's not. Lorelai is still happy that she went though, and honestly, I am happy for her, not least of all because it means she's going to back off of Luke. So Rory tells Lorelai about Tristan running into Dean, and then in Dean walks, having to lower his head because of his unnecessary height. Lorelai starts talking about how now she's a casual dater, whoop whoop, and Luke overhears and he looks sad and forget about that woman, Luke. You have other options. Me. So Stalker Dean is back in full force and he wants to come and watch Rory's rehearsal for a school production. Dude, get it together. So the next day at Chilton, and Tristan is with his new bad boyfriends who do not look a day under 42 and look like they're day traders who complain about the male loneliness epidemic. When Rory approaches them, it's giving Grease when Sandy first comes to Rydell High and wants to talk to Danny Zuko.
What's the matter with me, baby? What's the matter with you?
Okay, Tristan. Anyway, Rory lets Tristan know that Dean is going to be coming to the rehearsal and would he mind ever so much not mentioning the kiss. He gives her a hard time, as is standard, and then says Dean's going to find out about the kiss anyway because the chemistry that these two have on stage is palpable. Rory lets him know that things are going great with Dean and she doesn't want to mess it up. And I'll be honest, Tristan looks a little bit sad, a little bit crushed by that. And then Rory tries to check in and reach out about his latest bad boy behaviour. And she tries to let him know that he's better than that, he's smarter than that. We haven't really had evidence of being smart, but go off. Anyway, Tristan does not stick around for the lecture.
Hi. Bye.
So back at the diner, Rory is thinking about the impending doom of the upcoming rehearsal. And Lorelai is trying to cheer her up when in comes her date from the other night with his parents. It reminds me of that comic store episode in Sex and the City where Carrie ends up with that younger guy and then his parents come home. Paul from business school is a different person altogether from Paul at Luke's diner. You know, they say that you revert back to your childhood when you're with your parents. Well, Paul has well and truly reverted back to his teenage self. He's told his parents all about Stars Hollow because obviously Lorelai blabbed everybody's business to him. I know Lorelai's personal life is limited, but really chatting about Luke's breakup with this date, it's a bit much.
It's not okay.
Rory is beside herself when she sees Paul.
I've always wanted a little brother. He looked older the other night.
And then two kids come into the diner and Luke says,
"Would you guys mind moving down a couple of stools, make me more comfortable?"
This is me leaving.
Hey, how do I know what the cutoff is?
Pow.
I genuinely howled. That moment was almost better than when he shoved Jess into the lake. Almost. Jess is nowhere to be found, apparently. I guess they can only handle one love triangle at a time. So at rehearsals, and Tristan's Romeo is, well, at least he's saying the lines, which is sometimes all you can ask for, apart from the fact that he's forgetting some of the lines. Dean is lurking in the background of the rehearsal looking like a crazed serial killer. And honestly, if a boyfriend of mine turned up to a rehearsal, I would be mortified. Tristan is milking the whole kiss moment and using it to taunt Dean. And Madeline or Louise is wearing another sick jacket of the suede persuasion. So Tristan is refusing to kiss Rory and get on with the production, and instead uses his time to tell Dean about the kiss that they had all those weeks ago, even though he told Rory he wouldn't tell Dean.
Lies! The lie!
What a snake. So Rory is forced to speak to Dean and tell him to leave, which he reluctantly does. And then Tristan leaves rehearsal too, presumably to go back to his gang and do some gang culture stuff. You know, maybe mess with someone who's ruining the stock market or something. So Suki is going to watch Rory in one scene in a school play. I can't even get my siblings to watch me on TV. But cool. Must be nice to be Rory Gilmore, I guess. Lorelai invites Luke too, but he's still making quips to Lorelai about her dating a younger guy. And then Miss Problematic Patty comes in and joins in on the teasing, as if she's got a leg to stand on.
Lorelai, I hear you're dating a kid.
Shame.
Bootsy actually made me shape it up to be my favourite Stars Hollow resident. Luke has been so sulky about Lorelai's date, and I hate to say it, this may be Luke's first strike, or maybe he had one before. It's not really any of his business who Lorelai dates. If you want to ask her out against my better judgment, then do that. But all this sulking?
Nope.
So it's time for the school performance, and one group has decided to do a caveman version of Romeo and Juliet, which is a choice. An inventive one, honestly. I've seen worse. Chilton has money, honey, because look at the production values. At my high school, we barely had a stage. Here you've got lighting, costuming, staging, the works. So Rory comes out in her costume and everyone around fawns over her because Rory. And Lane's there too. I'm sure it's just because Henry's actually participating, but still. So Paris summons Rory and she is in distress because Tristan has not showed up. They go to look for Tristan in the boys' bathrooms. And honestly, Henry's group, let's clap it up for them because this concept is a vibe. So Tristan finally shows up in his own clothes to tell them that he will not be participating because his dad has taken him out of school for getting into trouble with those elderly statesmen, Duncan and Bowman. They were doing that rich kid shit, breaking into one of the dad's safes. Rory is being incredibly kind to Tristan, especially when he tells her that he's going to be shipped off to military school. And honestly, he doesn't really deserve it. He has been foul to Rory. Tristan's dad is not playing. He's like, yo, it's time to go. Dean is watching their whole interaction like a stalker. And Tristan says,
I'd kiss you goodbye, but your boyfriend's watching.
Okay, bye, Tristan. And out comes Paris in this. I couldn't love her more if I tried. She bodies the role of Romeo. After the show, and Lorelai is complaining about Luke and saying that he's always blowing hot and cold with her. And Suki is like, girl, you know full well that man is into you. Finally, somebody is saying what most of us have been thinking. Why does this woman insist on playing dumb?
Idiot.
So they head to the diner, obviously, and Lorelai approaches Luke about dating by telling him about all the dates that she's been on that haven't worked out. And Luke's like, why are you telling me this?
Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know.
And then Lorelai says that she's super grateful that she can count on Luke for anything, and Luke agrees that she can indeed. And I don't know what this means. Does she like him or no? Okay, Rory, you can stay where you are. You were absolutely fine this episode, and even when tested, still managed to show Tristan some grace. Lorelai, up you come just a tad. You dated a younger man, but you didn't deserve to be fully roasted for it for the entire episode. Paris, love the work ethic, and honestly, get you a girl who gets it done. You really said whatever it takes to get the shot. Luke, you're gonna have to come down just a bit. Your sulkiness because Lorelai was dating was too much. Who needs perfection anyway? I still love him. Dean, your jealousy and anger issues mean I just don't see it for you. Tristan, it's a major no from me. Don't let Chilton's doors hit you on the way out. And that's it. Another one in the bag. I still haven't decided what Lorelai actually wants from Luke, but what's new there? Also, where's Jess? I mean, I'm not bothered, but didn't he just get here? Anyway, join me next time for some more shenanigans. Until then, okay, bye.